Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be going over and showing you how to install the Blue Ox Aftermarket off-road bumper adapters. So these adapters are going to be an important part of our flat tow setup if we plan on flat towing a vehicle with an aftermarket bumper. Now this isn't going to be specific to Jeeps, but I know a lot of you Jeep guys like to have these aftermarket bumpers on there, which is great. They really add to the aggressive off-road look of our vehicle, but they do pose a problem if we plan on flat towing. The reason being, the base plate kits which mount to the frame, they're not necessarily designed around these aftermarket bumpers. It's pretty much impossible to do that. So thankfully, a lot of these aftermarket bumpers do have these welded on D-rings, or in this case, these are bolted on. And what these D-rings allow us to do is they allow us to hook a tow bar to them, because again, attaching it to a frame mounted base plate kit is not an option. So these Blue Ox adapters here, it's going to be an excellent option for you to flat tow your vehicle with the aftermarket bumper. They fit a couple different configurations of the D-rings. These are, however, a standard size, so there really shouldn't be too many issues. We will, however, go over how to choose the correct one for your particular setup. So here is what our adapter actually looks like. It's going to bolt on to the end of our tow bar here. It's just one bolt per side, and then it's going to attach to the D-ring mount on our bumper. Now, because this fits a range of different D-rings, we are going to have some additional spacers and washers that we're going to install in here depending on our D-ring configuration. There's also going to be a couple different options depending on the hole size. We have installed here the model which uses the 7/8 inch diameter pins. From my experience, that's the most popular size for the D-ring, but there is a larger one that uses a 1-inch diameter pin. So now that we've gone over whether or not these aftermarket adapters are going to be needed for your setup, we can go ahead and show you how to get them installed. So the first thing we need to do to determine compatibility and which kit is going to be right for us, we need to determine, number one, what the size of the D-rings are on our actual bumper, and number two, whether they're rated for flat towing. So the manufacturer of the bumper is going to be the end-all means in regards to whether or not the D-rings can be used for flat towing. So you want to make sure you reach out to them and ensure that it is compatible beforehand. But once we get the go-ahead, in order to choose the correct one, we need to take two measurements. So the first thing we're going to measure is the actual thickness of the D-ring here. So if we take a quick little measurement here, you can obviously just use a ruler. You don't need to get this precise. So it's going to be about 0.89. As long as we're between 5/8 and 1 inch, we're going to be fine. In this case, we are. So then we can proceed to the next measurement, and that's going to be measuring the inside hole here. So if we measure the inside opening of the hole there, that's going to give us 0.8 inches. So again, about 7/8 of an inch. So that's the kit we're going to be using. So now that we know what kit we need, we're going to go ahead and install them onto our tow bar. So here's what our D-ring adapters actually look like. So we're actually going to be replacing the 3-prong adapters that come on our tow bar installed from the factory. So in order to do that, we're going to be removing this bolt here. So we're going to take our 3/4 inch socket and 3/4 inch wrench. And once we get that loose, this should go ahead and just slide out. So once we have our 3-lug bracket out, we're going to take our D-ring adapter bracket. We're going to make sure we're paying attention to this sticker here, because this is going to be facing up. And then we're going to take our new nylon washers. We're going to place one on either side of the bracket. We're going to line up our holes, and then we're going to use the provided hardware in our kit here. So it takes a little bit of maneuvering to get everything to line up, but we can easily just adjust the washers as needed. We'll simply use that same combination of our 3/4 inch ratchet and wrench to tighten it down. So in regards to the tightness though, we're just pretty much going to be snugging it up. We don't want it so tight that the bracket can't move, but we also don't want too much slop. We really just need the bolt to protrude through the ends of the nylock nut. So once we have this side on and tightened down, we'll just repeat the same process on the other side. Again, making sure we're paying attention to the orientation of the adapter. So that should be pretty good. So we went ahead and got our tow bar hooked up to the motorhome here. Now we can go ahead and hook up to our D-rings. Now in your kit here, you're going to get these spacers. So these spacers are going to be used to fill the gap. The inside opening for our mount here is going to be 1 inch. So if our D-ring shackle thickness is 1 inch, then we don't need any spacers. But if it's anything less than this, we will need to use one or possibly multiple spacers to fill the gap. And simply what I mean by this is, when we go to put there up to the D-ring, you can see we have a little bit of a gap there. So we're simply going to fill in that gap with one of our metal washers. And then we're going to line up our holes and insert our pin. Once we get our pin inserted all the way through, we're going to take the linch pin here. We want to make sure the nose is facing the inside. And we'll simply close it over there like so. And we'll just simply repeat that same process on the other side. Now, I'm not sure if it matters, but I would probably put that washer in the same location. We have this one on the inside here. I would probably mirror that on the other side as well. And that's going to do it today for our look and installation of the Blue Ox Aftermarket off-road bumper adapters.